Everyone has free offers on the latest phones. Of course, T-Mobile does too, even on the new Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra with Galaxy AI on us. But we all
Getting online protection is easier than you think. Switch to the DuckDuckGo browser today.
Slice so good, hit like boom. Papa John's, fill the room.
Hey, by the fifth inning, we're down by like. You went to the look, we all got shit to do today, right? I'm just gonna call the game. They won. We have won. Victory, comrades. Glory to the USSR. So we got mercied in our championship game, which is quite an embarrassing way to lose. Our coaches in the parking lot what happened? Did you guys rally together and win the game? No. We lost so bad that we weren't even allowed to finish the game. Oh, well, that's the way it goes. Just remember, I'm proud of you guys, and that you guys played your best, all right? Except for you, Dennis. You played like shit. It's no wonder why your mom's out there selling her body on the streets. Alright, now when I was a kid, I walked to and from school. And I've noticed that not many kids do that anymore because, well, the world's a dangerous place these days. People like to snatch kids up off the street. Now maybe it was different in the 90s, or maybe my parents just didn't care all that much. Oh, they're fine as long as they stay in groups. Who's gonna be able to stuff 4 kids in a van all at the same time? Besides, if anyone gets kidnapped, it'll be the dumb one in the Scottie Pippen jersey. Isn't that right, Michael? I once pooped in my cat's litter box. You see, they'll be fine. Now, the walk to school was not very interesting in general, but we would play a game called field goal. And how you play field goal is you run up behind somebody and you kick them in the ass. Kinda like you're kicking a fucking field goal. It's not a very complex game. I mean, there's only one rule, and that is that you have to yell field goal right before you do it, just to give that person a split second to tense up and realize, oh, I'm about to get a size 4 philo right up my asshole. So we'd pretty much kick our own asses all the way to school, and that was that. Now the walk home from school was totally different. Class is over, it's time to get your ass home. Pokemon's on at 4 o'clock, goddammit, I gotta get out of here. Now on our journey home, there were a few landmarks that we would pass. Of course, the first one would be the porn shop that was 100 yards from the school. Oh, sick, look at that pervert. Oh, goddammit. But after that, we would be at the corner of the road where Linda the crossguard lady was. And Linda was a little off her hinges. She would say all these euphemisms and metaphors, and we wouldn't have the first idea what the hell she was talking about. It's a pretty nice day out today, ain't it? You could wax a water buffalo on a day like today. What the fuck is she talking about? Just don't look at her. If you make eye contact, she keeps talking. Like my pappy used to say, how you gonna pet your porcupines if you got no pine tar? You know what I'm saying? No, Linda, I sure as hell don't. I don't care how many porcupines you pet. I just want to cross the goddamn street. So from there, we head over to the Long John Silver's, or more specifically, the dumpster behind the Long John Silver's. And it would be here where we would dare Michael to swim through the garbage for money. Michael, I'll give you a nickel if you doggy paddle your ass through the dumpster. I'm a dirty little bastard. Sounds good to me. Whoopee! Oh my god, he actually did it. Michael, your ass is gonna get meningitis or some shit. I don't care, I'm rich as hell. Ooh, there's hush puppies in here. So after Michael's dumpster diving, sometimes, if we were feeling frisky, we'd actually go into the Long John Silver. But since we're 9 years old and we got a whole $1.47 among the 4 of us, there's not a whole lot we can buy. The only thing that we can get is a box of crumbs. And if you don't know what crumbs are from Long John Silver's, well, it's where they take the leftover flaky and crispy parts from the fried fish, put it in a box, and serve it as a fucking side dish. Sure, it's disgusting, and it knocks a decade off your lifespan every time you eat a box, but again, we're 9 years old, what the hell do we care? How much does it cost for a box of crumbs? How much do you got? Just this nickel I got from swimming through your dumpster? Jesus, you're a dirty little bastard, aren't you? I sure am. Terrence, I need a box of crumbs, pronto. Crumbs? You mean the leftover fried batter? Yeah, that's it. Like the stuff that we scrape off and put in the garbage? Yes, Terrence. Stop asking questions. They're gonna give us money for it. There you go, you sick little animals. If your heart starts feeling funny, just eat more of them. Eat through the pain. So finally, we get to our houses. We got our boxes full of fried bullshit. These things are so good. It feels like my blood's going in slow motion. Hey, Michael, field goal. God damn it, you made me spill my crumbs all over. Ah, shit, sorry. I'll give you a nickel if you eat them off the ground. It sounds good to me. You're on. Alright, since it seems like everyone does a video on their first job, I might as well do one on mine. And that job was being a cook at my local pizza restaurant. I was a pizza making machine. I had my little hat, my little smock, and my little name tag that had the wrong name on it. Now, I told my boss that my name wasn't Javier and I wasn't the least bit Hispanic, but he didn't care. So I was Javier for the 2 years that I worked there. Now, I don't mean to brag, but I was pretty good at my...
Your phone storage again? Full already. Relax.
I don't know what it is, Martha, but I think I want to have relations with this pizza. During the afternoon, it was pretty boring. We didn't have a lot of orders, so all I had to worry about was the all-you-can-eat buffet. And since I'm lazy as hell, I'd usually just make cheese pizzas for everybody to eat. Can we have a little variety here? I'm sick of just having cheese pizza. You will eat what I give you to eat. I am the pizza lord. If you want to make requests, you can take your happy ass to the register and order your own goddamn pizza. Sometimes this old guy would come in, and since we serve beer at this pizza place, he'd get all drunk and I'd have to kick him out. Sir, we're gonna have to cut you off. Well, why the hell do you gotta do that? Because you had 9 Michelob Ultras at 2 in the afternoon on a Tuesday, that's why. But things always started to pick up around dinner time. All of a sudden, I would be up to my asshole in orders. And this would be the time a second cook would come in, and his name was AJ. And let me tell you about AJ. He was nothing like me. He was not fast, he wasn't efficient, and he sure as hell didn't make any sexy pizzas. Jesus, Martha, what a fugly pizza. I'd have to be drunk as hell to have relations with this thing. Hey, I'm drunk as hell. I'll fornicate with that pizza. AJ was so bad at his job that I just refused to call him by his real name. I'm not calling you AJ anymore, you hear me? Until you stop sucking ass and making pizzas, your name is gonna be Debbie. Debbie? Why do I have to have a girl name? Because you make pizzas like a slut, that's why. And I can't think of a sluttier name than Debbie, so get back to work, Debbie. So there we were, Javier and Deborah, the Batman and Robin of making pizzas. I mean, I was the one making pizzas, really. Half the time, Debbie wouldn't even help me out. He'd be in the break room with his thumb up his ass, not doing a damn thing. Well, that wasn't a very nice thing to do. So when he wasn't looking, I'd pour a bunch of olive juice into Debbie's Dr. Pepper, because that's what you get when you're a bad coworker. Oh, why's my drink taste like a dog's asshole? You can kiss my ass, Dr. Pepper. Now, since Debbie was worthless and pretty much a piece of furniture in the kitchen, I'd make him handle all the phone calls. Hello, this is Debbie. Will this be for pickup or delivery? What happened? Did you order the pizza? No, some weird transvestite named Debbie answered the phone and I got uncomfortable. And it was probably a good thing that he handled most of the customers, because when you're getting slammed with orders in a 110-degree kitchen, you tend not to be in the greatest mood. I don't care how many books you read, you little shit. You're not getting a free personal pan pizza. Because on top of everything else, you had to deal with people complaining about their food here and there. Yeah, excuse me, why the hell are all my pepperonis a different circumference? What kind of pizza place are you running here? And then you'd have to deal with the people making dumbass special requests for their pizza. Could you just put olives on 3/8 of the pizza? Yeah, can you spell out sorry I ruined Christmas and pepperonis? It's for my ex-wife. Could you, like, I don't know, fold up the pizza like a paper airplane and fly it into my mouth? But the worst would be the people that would come in at the very last minute. Hey, what time do you guys close? We close in exactly 37 seconds. Oh, we're just in time. We want to buy a pizza the size of a baby pool. Now, one time in particular, this couple came to dine in literally 2 minutes before we closed the doors. I had just cleaned the kitchen, my apron's off, Javier's ready to go home. All of a sudden, here comes Debbie. Hey, 2 people just walked in, they want to get a pizza. And my response to that was something along the lines of, yeah, well, those 2 people can eat my ass. How about that? And that was pretty typical. Debbie's probably heard me say that, I don't know, 1,000,000 times. But what's not typical is that the customers heard me say that from the kitchen. How dare he be rude as hell to us when we're trying to be rude as hell to him? So not only did these people get a pizza, but they got it for free because I didn't want to get fired. That was just a little joke. My ass isn't even on the menu. Yeah, but if you guys want to try something that does taste like ass, you should try our Dr. Pepper. Alright, now when I was a kid, I loved gym class. Because when you're in school dealing with long division and your stupid cursive handwriting all day, you need to have a break. And what better break is there than spending an hour in a gymnasium where some 40-year-old alcoholic teaches you how to play sports? Because let's face it, your gym teacher didn't seem like a real teacher with like a real teaching degree or anything. Why does this guy smell like bourbon? Did they just pull this guy off the streets or what? Alright, welcome to gym class. I know half of you guys don't want to be here, and that's fine. I don't want to be here either. But I'm on parole right now and I need a job. So here we are. Now when we were kids, gym class was always a chaotic mess. The gym teacher would just arbitrarily pick a sport for the day, and then he'd just let us run amok. Alright, we're gonna play, I don't know, how about soccer? Have at it. Let's see, you guys want to play hockey today? Go for it. How about we play, throw the dodgeball at the fat kid? Wait, what? There would be kids getting hurt left and right. I hit Ricky with this hockey stick and I broke his pelvis. Well, what the hell did you do that for? Because you told me that's how to play good defense? Oh yeah, that's right. Whoops. Go ahead and head to the nurse office there, Ricky. And don't you tell on me, goddammit, or I'll give you an F for the day. But Fridays in gym class were always different because Fridays were cardiovascular days. And all we would do on Fridays is run laps around the gym. Sometimes our teacher would bring out this big boom box and blare music for motivation, but he'd always play the same song over and over and over. And that song was Juvenile's Back That Ass Up. What a great song for a bunch of elementary kids. Of course, it was the shitty, edited Kids Bop version of it, Back That Thing Up, which is much more appropriate. So there we were, a bunch of scrawny-ass kids running around the gym, Juvenile blasting out this boombox.
Girl, you look good, won't you? You's a fine mother flipper, won't you? Call me Big Daddy, when you? Girl, who's you playing with?
There'd be teachers poking their heads in the gym and shit. What the hell is going on here? We're backing our asses up. What's it look like? Is that so? Well, I guess that's public schools for you, I guess. But the worst thing that we had to do in gym class, without a doubt, was the dumbass square dancing that they made us do. Now, I don't know whose brilliant idea it was to make square dancing part of the curriculum, but if I had to guess, it would be the devil himself.
Make the children awkwardly hold hands and dance the hillbilly music, damn it.
So every year, at the end of the year, we would have to do square dancing. The most nerve-wracking part, of course, was when the teacher picked your partner out for you. Let's say, Becky, you can be with Timmy, and Jennifer, you can be with Larry over there. Careful, he has eczema. You might not want to get too close to him. Meanwhile, I'm over there in the corner praying to the gods above. Please let me get a good partner. Please let it be Topanga from Boy Meets World. Let's see, and you over there, you can be with, well, how about Big Bertha over there? Oh, God damn it!
Sounds good to me. Let's dance, Cupcake.
Jesus Christ, look at her. She's got shoulders of a linebacker. One time my dad asked me to clean my room, and I had Big Bertha whoop his ass. Ah, damn it. Looks like there's more boys than there are girls in this class. David, you're gonna have to be partnered up with Zachary over there. Zachary? I'd rather stick my dick in a toaster than be partners with Zachary. All he does is talk about monster trucks all day. Yeah, well, I guess it sucks to suck, doesn't it? That's not my problem. All right, everybody line up. So we'd all get into formation. The teacher's out there with his big-ass boombox. All right, everybody ready to feel uncomfortable? No, not really. Perfect, let's do it. Ooh, I don't like this shit one bit. Big Bertha's over there staring at me, licking her lips and shit. The teacher's yelling out commands for everybody to follow. Grab your partner round and round, kick him in the ass, and knock him down. All right, promenade, goddammit, promenade! We're out there dancing like idiots. Nobody knows what the hell they're doing. Bertha's got me on her shoulders and shit like she's my dad. David's over there in his own personal hell. One time I seen the gravedigger jump over a school bus and I almost shat myself. God damn it, I've seen crippled kids do-si-do better than that. What the hell are you guys doing out there? You're disgracing the sport of square dancing. All right, let's change it up a little bit and take it from the top.
Let's go, Cupcake. Back that ass up.
All right, it's that time of year again. Time to go back to school. And sure, I know it sucks. I was a 10-year-old kid before. I know what it's like. I've been sitting there on the couch watching TV. All of a sudden, a back-to-school commercial comes on.
Hey, you there, on the couch! To hell with your Animaniacs! It's back to school time! Go tell your mom we got book bags for 50% off at the Walmart!
Now, the one good thing about going back to school, at least for me, was that my great-grandma would take me to the store and buy me a new pair of shoes. Now, granted, the shoes she would pick out for me would be like from the 1920s, but it was the thought that count, goddammit. Yeah, Grandma, these will look great when I'm doing the Charleston at the school's ice cream social. Looks good to me. And then before you know it, you wake up one morning and it's the first day of school. I'm laying there in bed like, well, my Uncle Rick shit himself in order to get out of Vietnam. Maybe I can shit myself to get out of going to school. But no, you don't do that. You get your ass up and you go to school. Your dumbass friends are outside waiting for you. Everybody's got on their finest clothes. I walk out there looking like I got dressed in the dark. I got my speakeasy dress shoes on and my dumbass Hawaiian t-shirt. My friend Michael's over there showing off his generic-ass new shoes. Hey, everybody, check out my new Shaqs. Aren't they cool? Michael, I thought you said you were getting new Air Jordans. No, my stepdad said I had to get fake Air Jordans because I'm his fake son. So we start walking to school. There's random people yelling out their car windows. Hey, look at those little shits on their first day of school. Sucks to be you guys. Have fun with your Scantron sheets and your square pizzas. Then we finally get to school. Everybody's everybody's all apprehensive. Well, here we are, the 5th grade. They say shit gets pretty real when you hit the 5th grade. Meanwhile, everybody's walking up to me, talking shit about my shoes. Look at this dude and his weird tap dancing shoes. What the hell? These are fucking wingtips there, mister. You don't know nothing about nothing. So you sit down in your new class for the first time. You scan the room to see who's all in your class this year. Let's see, who do we got here? We got weird-ass Julie over there who talks to herself. That's not good. And we got Eric, who was sent home from school last year because he had head lice. God damn it. And there's Chris over there, who shit himself in the 1st grade. Fantastic. I'm not going to talk to any of these people. All of a sudden, the teacher busts into the classroom. Good morning, you beautiful sunshine children. Are we all happy to be here today? I'd rather be tossed around in a Russian gulag than to be here, to be honest with you. Oh, well, that's terrific. How about we go around the room and introduce ourselves? My name's Julie, and sometimes the voices in my head tell me to burn things. Yeah, my name's Eric, and my mom had to shave my head last summer because I'm a dirty little bastard. Yeah, my name is Chris. Hey, that's the kid that shit himself in the 1st grade. Oh, god damn it, that was a long time ago, all right? I had 12 chocolate milks that day. How the hell was I supposed to know I'm lactose intolerant? All right, everybody, calm down, calm down. Don't worry, Chris, it's not your fault. Not everybody can grow up to be a decent person. And what about you, little boy? You must have went to Hawaii over the summer, didn't you? No. I'm just wearing this shirt because it's badass. Look, lady, I don't know what you want from me. I'm 10 years old. I like Pokemon cards. I just got the Limp Bizkit CD last summer. I got a lot of shit going on in my life, all right? That's all I have to say. That was pretty much all you did on your first day of school. You didn't really do any real work, partly because you've been turning your brains into mashed potatoes all summer long. Man, I haven't used my brain in 3 months. I can't remember how to write my name in cursive. Hell, I can't even remember how to spell mine. So after school, I'd meet up with all my friends. We'd recap on how the day went. Well, I hope your guys' first day went better than mine. My new teacher's old as hell and she smells like fucking Fritos. Oh yeah? Well, that's nothing. You should see all the weirdos in my class. I got weird-ass Julie, that kid that had head lice, and Chris, of all people. Chris? Isn't that the kid that shit himself? God damn it, that was a long time ago! Oh god, not again! Alright, so this month just so happens to be my birthday month. And when you're in your late 20s, there's really not much to be excited about. Well, what do you want to do for your birthday this year? Oh, you know, the usual. Sit in the dark and get drunk by myself. Goodbye, my youth! I'll miss all the Pokemon cards and Rocco's Modern Life, goddammit! But when you're a kid, birthday parties are the best. Even if it's not your own birthday party, you still have a good time. You get a birthday party invitation in class from some kid that you don't even really like that much, but you don't care. Oh, hell yeah, birthday party. Count me in. And your parents got you actual invitations to hand out? What are you guys, rich? This party's probably gonna be badass if your parents are blowing money on invitations. There's probably gonna be like a bouncy house there, some creepy-ass clown to scare all the kids. Hey, do you kids got any baby teeth I can have? I collect baby teeth as a hobby. And you know damn well they're gonna have some pretty good food there, too. We have 2 dinner choices, smoked brisket or a rack of lamb with cranberry glaze. Do you guys have sloppy joes? I'm accustomed to sloppy joes, goddammit. So I'd show up to this birthday party with gift in hand. My dad would just drop me off. Yeah, this house smells pretty fucking weird to me. I'm not sticking around to make small talk with this kid's parents. You're on your own. So I'd meet up with my little friend Timothy or Jimmy or whatever the hell his name is. I just tell him what his gift is right off the bat. Yeah, I got you a magic 8-ball because I didn't know what the hell you wanted and my dad only let me spend $10. So there you go. So then you go around and get introduced to your friend's weird-ass family. This is my old-ass grandma who can't remember anything after 1967. And this is my Aunt Lisa, who my Uncle Mike divorced last summer for a younger, more attractive woman. Oh, God. And this is my drunk Uncle Bill, who sleeps on our couch when he's not in rehab. Yeah, happy birthday there, little Jimmy. My name's Timothy, Uncle Bill. Yeah, I know. Hey, can you borrow me $5 real quick? Yeah, I guess, Uncle Bill. Here you go. And when you get a minute, can you pee in this cup for me real quick? What the fuck, Uncle Bill? I don't know. Maybe later. And of course, your friend always had a sweet-ass cake that their parents had custom ordered. Whoa, dude, you got a Frasier cake? What the hell? Yeah, dude, I fucking love Frasier. What are you talking about? Hey, baby, I hear the blues are calling. Toss salads and scrambled eggs. They're calling again. All right, kids, who's ready to hit the piñata? Oh, hell yeah, I love tying up animals and beating them with sticks. Wait a minute, what the hell? Who gets a Ted Danson piñata? God damn it, Uncle Bill, you're embarrassing me in front of my friends. That's Kelsey Grammer, god damn it. Yeah, well, there better be some good stuff in here, I tell you what. Where's all the bourbon and Adderall at? Meanwhile, Grandma's over there wondering where the hell she is.
Why is it so loud in here? Are the Russians attacking us?
So then, of course, the time comes where it's time to sing happy birthday to the birthday boy. Happy birthday, little Jimothy. Can I borrow $5? And of course, it's time to open presents. And that's usually a hit or miss affair. Some presents are good, some are not so good.
Oh, that's cool. Oshkosh bagosh overalls. Thanks a lot, Aunt Lisa.
You can go fuck yourself since we all know Uncle Mike isn't willing to anymore. All of a sudden, Uncle Bill stumbles in with his birthday present that's not even wrapped up. It's just chilling in a Walmart bag and shit.
Uncle Bill, you got me a bag of frozen chicken nuggets? What the hell?
Yeah, every kid likes chicken nuggets, right? Happy birthday, Jimmy.
Hey, can you ask that magic 8-ball if my ex-wife still thinks about me?
And after birthday presents, the birthday party's pretty much over. Everybody starts heading out and leaving.
I don't know who you are, but I hope you enjoy your ice cream social. Thanks, Grandma. Sorry you can't remember the 1980s.
My dad comes to pick me up. Well, how was the party? Was that kid's parents as weird as the fucking smell in their house or what? Not as weird as their Uncle Bill, that's for sure.
Excuse me, sir. Can I have your kid piss in this cup? I'll give you a bag of frozen chicken nuggets for it.
Alright, now I know most people have gone through something like this before. You lock yourself out of your house because you're not paying attention. Now you gotta squeeze your fat butt through a window like an idiot. So I figured I'd tell the story about when I locked myself out of the duplex that I used to live in. So I wake up one morning, I got the whole house to myself. My roommate Brewer's already at work slinging cigarettes at the Circle K, but I noticed that his dog's in my room and she's looking at me like, hey, asshole, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. You gonna take me outside or do I gotta shit on the living room floor like some kind of Olsen twin? So I take Brewer's dog out in the backyard. I'm still in my boxers and shit, half awake. Brewer's dog's out there taking a dump. Well, I can't go when you're watching me, you big pervert. So we go to head back inside, but I realize that we can't because I shut the back door and the back door locks automatically. Oh boy, I think I just fucked myself. Brewer's dog's looking at me like, oh, you stupid asshole. You locked us out of the house? It's fucking November out here. We're gonna die. So I go to the front door and start ringing the doorbell. I'm hoping that the neighbor downstairs is home and he can let us in. There's people walking down the street and shit.
Oh, what's that naked guy doing to that dog?
I don't know. What a pervert. So now I'm starting to panic a little bit. I hurry up and run to the side door on the house, and to my surprise, it actually opens. But it only opens like 3 inches because there's a goddamn chain lock on the door.
Goddamn stupid chain locks!
We're gonna die out here, dog. We're gonna die, and it's gonna be all my fault. So I take my naked ass over to the garage and try to come up with a game plan. I find this rusty-ass axe in there, looking like it's from the Great Depression. So now I'm outside, chopping away at this goddamn chain lock, looking like some kind of pantless serial killer and shit.
Holy smokes, should we call the police?
No, I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see this. I don't fuck around with people that don't wear pants. I get like 6 swings in, and instead of breaking the chain lock, I break the goddamn axe instead. So now, like I mentioned before, I gotta try to fit my fat butt through a window. But we live on the 2nd story. How the hell am I gonna get through a window that high? What am I gonna fucking pole vault my ass up there? So I go back to the garage, and this time I grab a 30-foot extension ladder. Now I was 19 years old at the time. What the hell do I know about ladders? Apparently you're supposed to have a ladder at a 75-degree angle from the house, but I didn't do that. Instead, I set it up like an asshole, spread out all willy-nilly. Well, imagine my surprise when I got 2/3 of the way up, and the whole ladder slides out from underneath me like some kind of goddamn Home Alone booby trap. I fall to the ground, land on my ankle sideways. Brewer's dog's just staring at me. Oh my god, we're gonna die out here in the elements thanks to you, you big idiot. Alright, to hell with the ladder since I damn near broke my ankle. What if I go through one of the neighbor's windows instead and then go upstairs? That's breaking and entering, you idiot. You want to go to jail? Well, I mean, this is my house too, technically. I'd just be breaking into the wrong half of the house. So I open up the window to my neighbor's bedroom and I hop inside. Now, it's a really weird feeling breaking into somebody else's house. I gotta say, I was quite uncomfortable doing it.
Okay, this is no big deal. It's just a Class 5 felony after all.
I start walking towards the door when all of a sudden I hear another door open. And it's my fucking neighbor walking into his house. Or his half of the house, rather. And here I am in my goddamn skivvies in the middle of his bedroom. He's gonna come in here thinking I'm rifling through all his shit. I'm gonna get arrested. I'm probably gonna be on the news and shit. Thank you for joining us at 13 O'Clock News. This just in, we have a local pervert that was caught red-handed breaking into houses. We have Dan Peterson on the scene. Dan, what do you have for us?
Well, Tom, it appears this weirdo got all naked and then broke into the wrong half of his house.
Wow, what a pervert, Dan. What the fuck is the matter with that guy?
I don't know, Tom, but we also think that he sexually assaulted this dog as well. Back to you.
So I freak out, start heading back for the window. My ankle's all screwed up. I'm hobbling along like Nancy Kerrigan and shit. I throw myself out the window like the building's on fire. Hurry up and shut the window. Okay, we're gonna pretend that didn't happen. I hurry up and go to the front of the house and ring the doorbell again. Oh, hey there, neighbor. You're probably wondering why I'm out here in my underwear with this dog. I assure you it's nothing sexual. Now, can you please let us in the house before I have to commit another felony? Alright, now when I was a kid in middle school, it was required to take a semester of health class. And health class was pretty straightforward. It was mostly just a class to steer you away from cigarettes and alcohol. Smoking cigarettes causes cancer. You see this picture right here? This is what a cancerous lung looks like from smoking. That looks like a picture of Lindsay Lohan. What? What are you talking about? Oh yeah, that is Lindsay Lohan. She was in The Parent Trap. I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. All I can see is an infected, diseased, disgusting lump of shit caused by years of self-abuse. That's all I see. The teacher would always make us go up in front of the class and do presentations. My presentation is called Alcohol Ruins Your Life. My sources are this book, A Fifth of Scotch a Day Keeps Your Family Away, and an interview I did with my stepdad. But the drug and alcohol talk was nothing compared to sex ed, because in sex ed, your teacher would say some shit that you would never want to hear him say again. Okay, everybody, today we're talking about the penis. Now, I know some of you are going to be giggling every time I say it, but penis is just a word. P-A-N-I-S. Penis. One day we were sitting in class and the teacher taped a bunch of STDs to the chalkboard. Okay, now I know you guys are at the age where you're going through puberty and your body is starting to go through changes. My body's changing? What am I, a fucking anamorph? For example, you got Todd over there. He thinks he's pretty cool because he's got a few whiskers on his upper lip. Well, Todd, you think your shitty excuse of a mustache is gonna save you from the horrors of gonorrhea? I don't think so. Alright, I want everybody to pick your favorite sexually transmitted disease and present it to class next Friday. Well, I didn't really know what my favorite STD was, so I just picked chlamydia, because chlamydia kinda sounds like it could be like a Pokemon. Chlamydia, I choose you, go! Blech. So for this presentation, I decided to make this big-ass poster board to show to the class. I got the word chlamydia written up top in big-ass bubble letters like an idiot. I'm standing at the bus stop in the morning. People are driving by, honking their horns and shit. What the hell, is that kid advertising chlamydia? Hey, asshole, I got plenty of chlamydia from my ex-wife. No, thank you. So I'm standing up there in front of the whole class. It's worth noting that I absolutely hate speaking in public, let alone when I have to list off all the goddamn symptoms for chlamydia. Okay, if everybody can refer to my big-ass obnoxious poster board, you can see that the common symptoms include a burning sensation and a yellowish discharge. Oh god, a yellowish discharge from the penis. Who the hell wants that in their life? But if I thought that was the worst part of health class, it was nothing compared to The Miracle of Life. Because The Miracle of Life was a movie made in the 80s that talks about where babies come from. And at first, when the teacher wheeled out that bad boy TV on the cart, we were all kind of excited. Oh, hell yeah, what are we watching? Ghostbusters? I hope we're watching Ghostbusters. Today, kids, we're gonna watch the film The Miracle of Life. And it's gonna take you step by step from when you're a weird little shrimp person in your mom's belly to the fully functional human being that you are today. So we start watching this movie, and 95% of the movie is indeed what he said. It does show us how we go from little weird shrimp monsters to a fully functional human baby. But then out of fucking nowhere, it cuts to a woman giving birth to a baby. And it shows everything. This chick is spread eagle, the camera's right in her business, everybody in the classroom's horrified. Oh, what the fuck? Ah, sick, I just ate chicken parmesan for lunch, for Christ's sake. Meanwhile, the teacher keeps pausing the video to add commentary, and here we can see the baby's head beginning to crown. It kinda looks like if you cut an avocado in half, doesn't it? Blech. Oh boy, that is messy. I hope that cameraman's wearing a poncho. Blech. And that was The Miracle of Life, everybody. All right, anybody have any questions? Yeah, can I file a restraining order against your ass so you can never show me that shit again? After school, we're all outside traumatized. There's kids smoking cigarettes and shit. That was not the fucking Ghostbusters. Hey, you're not smoking cigarettes out there, are you? Is this what you really want to become in life? Take a good look. Alright, for those of you that don't know, this channel has recently hit 1 million subscribers. And that's quite a milestone, I have to say. Especially when it's been almost 7 years since I told my very first story. A story about me getting my wisdom teeth ripped out of my head. And I'll never forget the first comment that I ever received. It was a comment that said, I wanted to rip out all your teeth with pliers after 30 seconds of this video. Oh, well, that's not very good motivation, but I guess I'll take it. So in honor of this accomplishment, I wanted to answer a few questions that I get asked frequently and maybe shed some more light on what Brew Stew Films is. Question number 1. Why is the channel called Brew Stew Films? Well, I named the channel after my group of friends, which we called ourselves the Brew Crew, which is named after Brewer, the patriarch of the group. But the domain name brewcrew.com was already taken, so I changed it to Brew Stew instead. Which brings me to question number 2. If the channel's called Brew Stew Films, is your name Stu or Stuart? And the answer to that is no, my name is not Stuart. What the hell kind of name is that? I'd probably be sucking dick for money if my name was Stuart. It's Brew Stew Films because Brew Stew rhymes and because the brewstew.com domain name was like $12. The end. Question number 3. Are the stories you tell real? Yes, these stories are real. They're real people with real names. Sometimes I do change the names, but most of the time I'm just like, fuck it, Mr. Jones, you're gonna be Mr. Jones anyways. I'm not changing your name, it's too damn boring and common. Question number 4. Why do you start every video with all right? Well, I start every video with all right because I like to get to the fucking point. There's so many people out there that can't tell a story because they drag on about all.
Agnes AI, a free app where you don't just chat with AI characters, you generate scenes with them. I'm sure you've tried those AI roleplay apps with only text and voice. But this is way more immersive, like you're really inside the story interacting with them. Just upload one selfie, chat with AI character. Now watch this. This app instantly turns your chats with AI characters into real scenes of you two together. It's so amazing. Try Agnes AI for free limited time offer, and you can generate as many times as you like.
I sound like I'm making a 911 call from the trunk of somebody's car, and that's because I wasn't very comfortable talking in front of a microphone back then. Because you have to think about it, it is kind of a weird thing to do. You're sitting in a room by yourself telling a story to fucking nobody. You got your cat sitting there staring at you. Why's this asshole keep yelling about fart jokes and Lindsay Lohan? Hell, originally I had Brewer tell the stories, and I was just gonna animate them. That's what we did for the first video, Walker Texas Ranger. But eventually I started recording my own stories, and I've done that ever since. Granted, I don't sit in a room with that goddamn cat anymore. Usually I drive my car to some isolated spot and record while I'm inside the car. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm parked behind a fucking Chuck E. Cheese right now, looking like some kind of weirdo pervert recording the audio for this video. Question number 6. How long will you do Brew Stew Films for? Probably until YouTube decides to demonetize my whole channel, which should be any day now, so that's pretty cool. Question number 7. What do you use to animate? I use Adobe Flash and Adobe Premiere. And if you're looking to do shitty cartoons like I do, well, you can teach yourself how to do it. People come up to me all the time like, you should do a cartoon about when my Uncle Bob lit the bushes on fire. And I'm always like, well, I can't. For one, I don't know who the hell your Uncle Bob is. And for 2, I wasn't there when it happened. But you could probably make a cartoon about your dumbass Uncle Bob. It's not very hard. Just do what I did. Get Adobe Flash and look up a bunch of YouTube tutorials. You don't even have to go to a shitty community college class like I did. They're just gonna show you how to slide a triangle across the screen with a goddamn motion tween. Just watch the tutorials on YouTube. You'll learn the basics, and then all of a sudden you're drawing your Uncle Bob, or you're like me and you're animating your dumbass friend wiping his ass on your other dumbass friend as a wrestling move. The rest is history. And finally, question number 8. It's a question that I hear probably, I don't know, every day of my life. What happened to Michael, and do you still talk to him? And the answer to that is, do you really think I'd still talk to somebody that I've talked so much shit about? I haven't talked to Michael since I was a kid. I don't know what the hell he's doing with his life, and I doubt he even knows what the hell a Brew Stew is. But I'm sure one day I'm gonna get a very awkward phone call from him, and he's gonna be like, dude, what the hell? Why'd you make me look like such a dumbass as a kid? And I'm gonna be like, well, Michael, because you were a dumbass when you were a kid. Say hi to your stepdad for me. But on a serious note, thank you everybody for watching these shitty cartoons that I make. It's an absolute honor and a privilege to make these for you guys. As long as you guys keep watching them, I'll keep making them. And special thanks to that asshole that wanted to rip all my teeth out. You gave me all the motivation to keep on going. Alright, now usually when you're growing up, you tend to have a friend that you like hanging out with, but you don't really like going to their house. And for me, that was my friend Tommy. Now, I didn't like going to Tommy's house for a couple of reasons. For one, his house had a weird smell to it. And by weird smell, I mean as soon as you walk in, you'd be like, sick! Is somebody microwaving socks in a Denny's bathroom? What the hell is that? And for 2, his family wasn't the most pleasant people to be around. His mom had a bunch of weird-ass rules that you'd have to follow when you were there. You're not allowed to use our bathroom, you hear me? I don't know where you came from or who your parents are, so you're not allowed to take a piss in this house. And then you had Tommy's creepy-ass grandma, who would always talk to me, but I could never understand what she was saying because she talked like fucking Jabba the Hutt from Star Wars.
Uben la chop. Solo.
Dude, what the hell is she saying? Is she about to freeze me in carbonite? I don't know, maybe. So needless to say, Tommy's house sucked ass. But there was one redeeming factor about Tommy's house, and that was that he had a PlayStation 2. And I'll never forget the day that Tommy got Grand Theft Auto 3. It was like a goddamn national holiday to us. I'm hanging out front of my smell what that kid's cooking, and I don't want to be a part of it. All of a sudden, Tommy comes up to us. You guys want to come over and play PlayStation 2 at my house? Out here, Tommy would always lie about stuff. Damn it, Tommy, she's not dead. You're a liar, and you're lying just like the time you told me that your cousin was on an episode of Boy Meets World.
Ah, sick.
The hell? Tommy, you better get your grandma under control before I tip her ass out of the wheelchair.
We don't like hats in this house. You can get it when you leave. I don't know where you came from and who your parents are, so there's no hats in this house.
And if you gotta take a piss, there's a tree in the backyard you can use. So I have to cut my losses and let Tommy's weird-ass grandma have my hat for the time being, and we go in his room and play some goddamn Grand Theft Auto 3. But there's one big problem that's stopping us. The goddamn game disc is all scratched up, and we can't get the thing to work. Jesus, Tommy, where'd you find this game? Out in the street? My sister's boyfriend gave it to me. What, after he was done wiping his ass with it? This thing is all jacked up. It's got more scratches in it than a fucking lottery ticket. How the hell are we gonna get this thing to work?
I heard if you put toothpaste on the disc, it helps get rid of the scratches.
Michael, we're not putting toothpaste on the disc. Don't be ridiculous. Was the game got fucking gingivitis?
All I want to do is run over some hookers with a guy
on this goddamn Grand Theft Auto 3 game doesn't die. She's like the Terminator of all grandmas. Oh, shit. She really is dead this time, isn't she? Whoops. Alright, now of each other, but we did the best we could. And to make matters worse, we did this in my friend David's front yard. So we were on full display in front of the whole neighborhood. There'd be people walking down the street. Oh my god, those kids are gonna hurt themselves. Oh well. But for a bunch of kids, we were actually pretty professional. I mean, we had like a referee, the cheap styrofoam championship belts you got from Kmart. Hell, we even had a boombox out there to play your entrance music.
Here, put my CD in and play track 5.
What the hell is this shit?
What are you guys looking at? It's the only CD I have. Austin 316. Give me a hell yeah.
So then once we were in the ring, or I mean the front yard, I guess, we would proceed to just beat the hell out of each other any way we could. And of course we would get hurt. I mean, hell, to this day I get back spasms because of the one time I tried to do a missile drop kick off the fence, God forbid, but it was worth it. You'd be out there trying to imitate your favorite wrestler, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I don't know who the hell this is. I'm talking this one, the old one, the Dwayne "Do you smell what the Rock is cooking" Johnson. I'd be out there saying one-liners left and right.
Do you smell what the Rock is cooking? Just bring it, you jabroni!
There'd be people like walking their dog and shit.
Why's that 65-pound white kid keep calling himself The Rock?
I have no idea. And what the fuck is a jabroni? Now, of course, if you're a wrestler, you have to have your very own finishing move. And my finishing move was called the Crippler Crossface. And how you do the Crippler Crossface is, you yank back on somebody's head really hard until they tap out, or you snap their neck and you cripple them for life. Hence the name, the Crippler Crossface. And there was nobody I liked doing that move to more than my next-door neighbor, Michael. Because Michael was a dirty fighter. He would trip you and shit, spit on your face while you're down. He didn't care. So he deserved every Crippler Crossface that he got. I'd be down there talking shit to him while I'm doing it. I'm the Brahma Bull, bitch. I'm the Brahma Bull. So then you let him go and the match is over, but Michael's all butthurt still, so he kicks you in the balls.
That's my fucking finishing move. How you like that? Winner and champion. Give me a hell yeah.
Now, like I said, we would always wrestle in David's front yard. But there was one time in particular, we decided to wrestle in this restaurant's parking lot that was across the street. Now, why would we wrestle in a busy parking lot? Well, because we're dumbass 11-year-olds, that's why. And dumbass 11-year-olds do dumbass things like wrestle in a busy parking lot. So we have this street match, if you will, and it's between David and Michael. Now, you had to watch out for David, because David would do this really cool finishing move where he'd take your legs and then bend you backwards until your asshole touched the back of your head. It did not feel good, and I did not want to be a part of it whatsoever. So they start going at it, and since Michael's such a wuss, David's got him on the ground in about 30 seconds.
Hey, have they met before? What? Has who met before? Your asshole and the back of your head. Allow me to introduce the two.
So there we are, in the middle of this restaurant parking lot. Michael's bent in half. He's crying like he got shot by a fucking rifle. Of course, some guy in his car sees us and he's like, what the hell is this kindergarten fight club bullshit? Hey, leave that kid in the Scottie Pippen jersey alone before I call the cops.
We're not doing anything. I was just trying to introduce one body part to another, that's all.
I'm all pissed off, like, God damn it, there's a styrofoam championship belt on the line. Mind your own business, you jabroni. Jabroni? I'm part German and Dutch Irish. I don't have a drop of jabroni blood in me. God damn it, I'm calling the cops.
No, there's no need to. See, look, he's all right. He's fine. How you like them apples, huh? Winner and still champion. I am still the champion, the champion, the champion.
Alright, now when I was a kid, Christmas was a big deal. And nothing was more important than going to see Santa and telling him what you sweet, sweet Mario Kart game for the Nintendo 64. Now, granted, you could just write him a letter instead and mail it to him.
Dear year for Christmas. However, I'm not sure why I got you double stuffed Oreos to go with your milk this year. You know, the good shit. You can thank me later.
You put your letter in the mailbox all excited and shit, but then you realize, oh yeah, that's right, I'm a dumbass little kid. I don't even got any postage on this goddamn thing. Santa's not gonna get this letter, what am I doing? So instead, you gotta go with your dumbass friends to see Santa in person.
Hey, you know Santa's gonna be at the Kmart down the street today, right?
What? Kmart? What the hell's Santa trying to do there? Score some smack?
I have no idea, but my stepdad's taking us if you want to go.
All right, you guys ready to go see Santa at the Kmart?
We sure are.
Everybody got their pistols with them?
We sure do.
All right, looks like we're ready to go to Kmart then. Let's go. So you walk into that dirty Kmart all excited and shit. Yeah, excuse me, my daughter and my fake son are here to see Santa Claus.
Oh, is that right? Well, Santa's over by aisle 12B. You know, right next to the used syringes and the semi-automatic rifles. You can't miss them.
So there we are, standing in line to see Santa Claus.
I heard that when you sit on Santa's lap, he can see every bad thing that you've ever done in your whole life.
Oh, yeah, right, Michael. Shut the hell up. What is Santa, a fucking sorcerer, reading people's minds and shit? Meanwhile, we're watching all these kids go up there. They got these long-ass lists of all the stuff that they want for Christmas.
All I want for Christmas is a pet dolphin and a grenade launcher and the state of New Mexico.
They got some kids that get up there, they're scared shitless. They can't say a word because they're so damn terrified. What's the matter, son? It's Christmas. It's fun. Now go sit on this creepy old guy's lap so he can break into our house later. But not me. I was too determined to be scared. I knew you had one chance to tell Santa what you wanted, and you better make it count. Well, little girl, what would you like for Christmas?
Dolphin dick.
Dolphin dick? Well, I guess if that's what kids are into these days. All right, little girl, you can have the dick of a dolphin. Finally, it's my turn to go see Santa. I get up there, and I am all business. Yes, Santa, I would like to return this punk-ass Diddy Kong Racing for one Mario Kart 64, please. I don't think Santa Claus does returns there, kiddo. Oh, so you're saying that I totally risked my life in this goddamn Kmart for no reason then, huh? Well, your ass can kiss those double-stuffed Oreos goodbye. So then, of course, it's Michael's turn to go up there. He's got his stepdad whispering shit in his ear. All right, get up there and tell him you want a big screen TV for Christmas and you want Suzanne Summers from Three's Company. And if he's not going for that, tell him we'll settle for Joyce DeWitt if we have to, but we're not happy about it. Ho, ho, ho there, little boy. Have you been a good boy for Christmas?
Santa, is it true that you can see every bad thing that I've ever done in my whole life?
What? No, kid, what the hell are you talking about? What am I, a fucking warlock or something?
Oh, okay, good. Well, in that case, I've been a very good boy this year, Santa.
Michael, don't lie to him. You've been a dirty little bastard all year long. Yeah, why don't you tell him about the time you clogged the toilet with a goddamn G.I. Joe action figure?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
And the time you took a shit in our own cat's litter box.
Oh, yeah, I did that too.
And how about the time you ate a whole tube of toothpaste and all your farts smelled like spearmint for like a week? Holy smokes, you are a dirty little bastard, aren't you? Oh, well, I guess better luck next year. Well, thanks a lot, Michael. So much for my Suzanne Summers. I guess you're just gonna have to get 10 across the ass for Christmas this year.
Brewstew.com.
All right. So a few years ago, I had a little encounter with a fox that unfortunately had rabies. Now, I've contemplated on whether or not to tell this story in the first place, because I probably handled it in the worst way possible. But I figure at the very least, maybe this could be like some sort of a learning experience for all of you guys. You know, things to do, or rather things not to do, when confronted by a wild rabid animal. Now, this whole ordeal started on one early afternoon. I'm sitting in my living room working on a cartoon that, well, ironically, was about me getting rid of a bat that flew in the house with my giant pool net, when all of a sudden, one of our kids comes up to me, and they're like, "Hey, I think there's like a Wolverine outside on our pool cover." And at first I'm like, Wolverine? How do you even know what a Wolverine looks like in the first place? I don't even know what the hell a Wolverine looks like, for Christ's sake. So I go over the window, and instead of seeing this so-called Wolverine, I see a fox. And it's a very, very sick, deranged-looking fox. Now, it's worth mentioning that we have a bunch of woods behind our house. So seeing a fox is not very uncommon. In fact, sometimes we hear their asses out there all night long. And if you've never heard what a fox sounds like, well, they don't really bark or howl or do any of those noises. Instead, they fucking scream like a woman being murdered. Yeah, that's what they sound like. The first time I heard that shit in the woods, I thought the fucking Blair Witch was out there murdering people left and right. But apparently, that's just the sound a fox makes. I sure as hell didn't remember that from the old See and Say toy that I had as a kid. The fox says, "Ah! So I'm looking at this fox, and I'm no veterinarian, but this thing clearly has rabies. it's tweaking out pretty severely. It's got the old cappuccino foam around its mouth and shit. That thing's either got rabies or somebody fucking buried it in the pet cemetery and it's come back to life to murder us all. Either way, it's a situation that now I have to deal with. Now, real quick, can anybody actually tell me what you're supposed to do in a situation like this? Well, if you guessed, I don't know, don't go outside and confront a fucking rabid animal, you guessed correctly. So anyways, I go outside and confront this rabid animal, and I'm fairly confident I can handle this situation. I was a Cub Scout as a kid. I got the, rabid animal merit badge or whatever the fuck. Well, apparently me handling the situation turns out to be me just yelling at it from a distance. Hey, quit it! Knock it off! Get out of here! Go fucking have rabies somewhere else, you asshole! And you know, that did not help at all. In fact, it just kinda pissed it off a little bit more. Now it's doing that murderous banshee scream shit directly at me. And to make matters worse, now our 120-pound Rottweiler can see this thing through the window, and he starts losing his shit. Oh boy, is that my new best friend out there? Oh man, I don't know if I want to lick it or if I want to fuck it first. So I get my wife on the phone, who's driving in her car at the time, and I'm just like, hey, there's a fucking zombie fox on our pool cover, and I believe it has a shit ton of rabies. A zombie fox with rabies? Well, what the hell are you calling me for? Go fucking shoot it with a rifle. Oh, all right then. That's a good idea. I'll call you back. Boop. So I go and grab my .22 caliber rifle that, thankfully I bought just a few weeks prior. I head back outside, and I'm confident that I'm about to fucking Lee Harvey Oswald this rabid fox. But that's when it dawns on me that this fox is indeed standing on top of our pool cover. If I shoot and miss, well, I'm probably gonna fuck up our pool like 6 different ways this Sunday. So quickly, I change up the game plan. I call my wife back up and I'm like, hey, I'm afraid I'm gonna fuck up the pool 6 ways to Sunday if I shoot at it. So instead, I'm just gonna charge at it with this hockey stick and hope for the best. What do you think? I think that fox is gonna fuck you up 6 ways to Sunday. That's what I think. Look, I'm just gonna call animal control and have them deal with it, okay? Now, this is what you're supposed to do in this situation. You're supposed to call animal control. Apparently, trying to fight a rabid animal with sports equipment's frowned upon. What the fuck ever. Now, I don't know if it's just our local animal control or what, but they were not very much help in this situation. Good afternoon, animal control. We have a zombie fox holding our pool hostage. Send back up with lots of ammo. What? You said it was a fox? We don't deal with any wild animals. We just deal with, like, stray cats and dogs. Now, this was pretty perplexing because, well, they're called animal control after all. Here we are with an animal that desperately needs to be controlled. You're not gonna come out and fucking help us? No, instead they give us a phone number to a man named Carl, who apparently, like, moonlights as, like, a rabid animal specialist, apparently. I don't know if this guy was, like, just a redneck with a harpoon gun or some shit. But what I do know is that when we called his ass, he didn't answer his fucking phone, so we have no idea. All right, so we tried yelling at the fox, a rifle, a hockey stick, animal control, and then Carl the fucking bounty hunter, and yet here we are, still have a rabid fox on our pool cover. Well, eventually we get the local sheriff to show up to our house, and at first, this guy was like as helpful as animal control was. Well, what do you want me to do? You want me to try to shoot at it? I mean, I guess you're a sheriff. You're probably a better shot than I am. Oh boy, I don't even know if I'm allowed to shoot at the damn thing in the first place. So this guy literally pulls out his phone and calls up his boss, and he's like, hey, we got like this fox holding this guy's pool hostage. Am I allowed to shoot at it? He wants to know what happens if I accidentally shoot your pool. Well, that was what I was trying to avoid in the first place. Okay, yeah, he doesn't want us to shoot the pool. Uh-huh. All right, then. Bye-bye. Boop. Yeah, he doesn't want me to shoot at it on account that I might fuck your pool up 6 different ways to Sunday. All right, so clearly we have to get this goddamn fox off of the pool before anything else can happen. Well, of course, to me, this sounds like a perfect job for my big-ass 12-foot-long pool net. Now, side note, I just want to say, I'm so goddamn grateful for this pool net. It has bailed my ass out multiple times when I've had wild animals on my property. If it was a person, I'd fucking have to buy it a beer, probably 12. All right, so now with the big pool net in hand, we come up with the final game plan. And that is the sheriff's gonna scoop up the fox, fling it into the yard, and that's where I'll be, sitting there like fucking SEAL Team 6, waiting to take care of business. So this guy approaches the fox with my giant, unwieldy pool net, and I don't know if this was like just another Thursday to the dude or what, but he nonchalantly scoops the fox up, and then he flings it into the yard like a goddamn lacrosse player. All right, time for my big moment. I raise up my rifle and I'm like, this is America, and we don't negotiate with terrorists. I squeeze off like half a dozen shots, and you bet your ass, every single one of them missed. It wasn't even close. I was like a fucking cartoon character, shooting a silhouette around this goddamn fox. The sheriff's up there judging me hardcore. This guy was a fucking Cub Scout? My asshole he was. Look, in my defense, I didn't sight in the scope, alright? I told you guys I just got the damn rifle. Thankfully, the gunshots did scare the fox out back into the woods, and that completed our whole little saga of all this bullshit nightmare bullshit. Alright, well, I guess that's settled. Holy hell, some Lee Harvey Oswald you are. God damn, your ass wouldn't even hit the fucking Lincoln Continental shooting like that. So I go back into my house, bewildered, wondering what the hell my life is these days. Meanwhile, our dog's staring at me like,
Oh, why'd you scare it away, you asshat? Now who's gonna be my best friend?
now you might be sitting there like, well, what happened to the fox? Was he okay? He just scampered off into the woods? Well, what are you expecting, a happy ending? All right, let's give it a happy ending, I guess. And so the fox scampered into the woods, it fully recovered from rabies, it got married and had lots of loud-ass fox babies, and it definitely didn't die a slow and very horrific death out in the woods. Anyways, the moral of the story is, don't approach a fucking animal that's got rabies. Stay inside, go call animal control, or at the very least, maybe a hillbilly with a harpoon gun. Maybe you're lucky and yours has like a fucking pager or something, and let the professionals deal with it, because rabies is a very shitty way to die. The end. Alright, now it seems to me that some of the dumbest things that you do as a child happened when you were staying the night at a friend's house. And this would usually occur at, I don't know, around 3 o'clock in the morning or so. Just out of nowhere, one of your friends is like, hey, wanna go grab sleeping bags and slide headfirst down the stairs? Oh yeah, let's do it. Well, one of the dumbest things that I remember doing was when me and my friend Michael stayed the night at our friend David's house, and we had ourselves a little impromptu smoothie night. Now, where did we get such a stupid idea in the first place? Well, we got it from the Magic Bullet Blender infomercial, of course. Where else? You see, back in my day, most sleepovers ended with all of us sprawled out in the living room, struggling to stay awake while we watched shitty infomercials on TV. Because that's all there was to watch after midnight. We'd just watch infomercial after infomercial until this bad boy came on the screen, and that was it. That was the end of TV time, according to the TV.
I get the money and it's right on cue. Keep the duffel bag up inside my coupe. Hold a couple racks, tell them I love you. You wanna be a boss, do it like I do. Yeah. Get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. You now rockin' with the best.
Was it weird, you asked? Well, it doesn't seem strange at first. You just got like this husband and wife showing off this shitty blender in their kitchen. But then all of a sudden, all these other people start waking up in their house and showing up to the kitchen table. And you're sitting there like, what the? Where did these people come from? Did they stay the night at their house? What the hell's going on here? And then it dawns on you that these people are fucking swingers. I mean, what else could it be? They're clearly swingers that had a wild swinger party the night prior, and apparently in the morning, they become blender enthusiasts. Look, go watch it for yourself, all right? It's on YouTube. That's been my theory for years, and apparently, I'm not the only one that thinks that. So anyways, we're watching these perverts on TV making all sorts of shit with this stupid little blender. They're making margaritas and guacamole and fucking pasta somehow. What? Pasta? Well, our whole night ends up taking a turn for the worse when we see these assholes make some delicious looking fruit smoothies. Because naturally, this gives us the brilliant idea of, hey, we should make fruit smoothies. We should make fruit smoothies right now. Never mind the fact that it's 3 o'clock in the goddamn morning, or the fact that David's mom is upstairs sleeping, exhausted from being a single mother all goddamn day. We gotta make some fruit smoothies, and we gotta do it right now. So we go into the kitchen, and unfortunately David's mom doesn't own a sweet-ass Magic Bullet blender like we saw on TV. Apparently those 6 easy payments of $19.99 aren't so easy for a single mother, what can I say? But what we do have to work with is a good old-fashioned Black & Decker big-ass blender. Alright, we're in business. Now we can make some fruit smoothies. But there's just one little itty-bitty problem. And that is, of course, none of us fucking know how to make fruit smoothies to begin with. But hey, that's not a problem. We didn't know how to fucking bobsled down a flight of stairs either. We just went for it. I mean, I'm no Copernicus, but I'm pretty sure the smoothie equation is just fruit plus orange juice equals fruit smoothie. That's pretty damn simple. So we start searching the kitchen for fresh fruit, and we quickly realize that there is no fucking fresh fruit in David's house. You think David's mom is shopping at Whole Foods, for Christ's sake? She's a single mother, you piece of shit. She can't afford that. We don't find any fresh fruit, but what we do find is a dusty-ass can of fruit cocktail. Well, that's like perfect to us. That's like all the fruit in the whole wide world. All right, now we just need some orange juice. Do we have any orange juice? We have Sunny Delight. Is Sunny Delight orange juice? No, it is not. Sunny Delight is to orange juice what fucking Yoo-Hoo is to chocolate milk. It is orange drink, not quite orange juice. But hey, what the hell, if that's all we got, we're just gonna have to use it. Well, we can't just blend fruit cocktail and Sunny Delight together. What kind of shithole smoothie would that be? Well, since our fruit options are severely limited, we have to start looking for what I like to call fruit-adjacent ingredients. Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's throw them in. What about strawberry Pop-Tarts? Would that work? Oh yeah, strawberry's a fruit in the title. We're talking goddamn fruit by the foot. All sorts of happy horse shit. So now we got this Black & Decker filled to the brim with basically everything you'd find in the middle aisles of a Walmart. We hit the blend button hoping for drink every single drop of that bullshit. And you wouldn't believe me if I told you, but these fruit smoothies actually kind of tasted like fucking dog shit. They were nasty as hell. I'm talking second round of Fear Factor episode nasty. That shit was so chunky, David's ass had to eat his with a fucking fork. But we ingested it, and we ingested all of it. Well, imagine my surprise when about 45 minutes go by, and all of a sudden my stomach's like... Now, I don't know what it's like to be a menstruating woman, but I had cramps so bad that it felt like my insides really wanted to become my outsides. I don't know what kind of fucking E. coli, salmonella bullshit I gave myself, but I was in some serious pain. But if I thought I had it bad, I look over at Michael, and his ass looks like he's about to blow his appendix out the ass end of his pants at any moment. And then I look over at David, and wouldn't you know, his ass is like smoking a cigarette, perfectly A-okay, thinking about going back in the kitchen for seconds and shit. Well, all of a sudden, Michael makes a mad dash towards the bathroom, holding his asshole as if it were a loaded weapon. Now, we don't know exactly what he did in the bathroom, but throughout the whole house, you could hear his ass going, ow, owie. Now, I don't know how David's mom didn't wake up when a bunch of children used her blender at 3 in the morning, but you bet your ass she woke up when she heard Michael's call of the wild ass, that's for sure. We run into the kitchen to try to hurry up and hide all the evidence. There's dry brown shit caked all over the blender. Clearly, this thing's blending days are definitely over. But regardless, David grabs out some, like, industrial strength cleaner from underneath the sink, and he starts scrubbing his little ass off. Meanwhile, I'm, like, collapsed on the floor, making my peace with God. I'm ready to die. I've caught all 150 Pokemon. I've lived a full life. David's mom walks into the kitchen, and the first thing that she sees is a semi-comatose child on the floor with a bunch of cleaners. Ah, piss! You guys drank stuff from underneath the sink? Where's the cordless at? I gotta call poison control! But then, of course, she sees her own son clutching her Black & Decker that is fucked 6 ways to Sunday, and that's it. The jig's up. The party's over. Now we have to explain everything. We gotta explain why Michael's asshole is imploding in the bathroom, why there's only half a sleeve left of Fig Newtons, and of course, most importantly, why her Black & Decker looks like 3 grown men just took a shit inside of it. We made fruit smoothies tonight. Fruit smoothies? Well, what fucking fruit did you use? Oh, you know, like fruit cocktail and Fig Newtons and Fruity Pebbles and a bunch of other bullshit. Yeah, needless to say, we got in quite a bit of trouble, and smoothie night was a complete and utter failure. But I will say that there was a small silver lining to this whole fucking fiasco. And that is, since we destroyed David's mom's blender, her ass had to buy a new one. And what did she decide to buy? That's right, a goddamn magic bullet blender. I don't know if her ass worked some overtime or what, but, well, we've come full circle, haven't we? Aw, man, now we can really blend up some fucking fruit smoothies. All right. Now, throughout my life, I've experienced plenty of awkward situations. I don't know if I'm like some sort of awkwardness magnet or what, but they tend to happen quite often. And today I'd like to go over 3 specific awkward situations that were a little bit more awkward than usual, if you will. Now, this first story occurred a long time ago when I was driving home from work one day. I pull up in front of my house, and that's when I notice that there's a neighbor kid in my yard poking a dead squirrel with a wiffle ball bat. Now, I really didn't think this was all that weird at first. Hell, if anything, I was kind of excited for the kid. I was like, oh, look at that. A kid playing with a dead animal, just like the olden times when I was a child. How neat. So I get out of my car, and I yell out to this kid nonchalantly, hey, what you doing over there? Are you making a new friend? Now this kid looks up at me, and all of a sudden just starts wailing his ass off. Now, I don't know if you've ever accidentally made a child cry openly in public, but it's a wildly uncomfortable situation to be in. He runs over to his dad, who's cutting the grass. All that well. I mean, we've been neighbors for years at this point, but, well, we've only really had one actual conversation before, and that conversation went something along the lines of me being like, oh, okay, well, I'll promptly go fuck myself. How about that? Well, this guy cuts off his lawnmower, and he says to me, how did he put it? Oh, yeah, that's right. He said, what the fuck did you just say to my kid? I thought I just asked the kid what he was doing, but judging by his reaction, hell, I might have told him to go fuck himself, and then I was gonna go kill his family dog. I just asked if he was making a new friend. With a dead fucking squirrel? Yeah, well, it's kind of weird when you put it like this. I'm labeled as the fucking neighborhood pervert now, and for the rest of the years that I live there, look out. Hey, sorry to make you do this, but I really need you to buy me a box of tampons. And please, for the love of God, in line for the cashier, holding my case of Miller Lights and my box of Tampax Pearls. Well, it was right about then that I start thinking about something that I saw on TV a while back. And that something was like an episode of 60 Minutes or some shit, where they were doing a story about teenagers who soaked tampons in alcohol, and then they, you know, shove them up their asses to get super drunk. I'm not making this up. This is a real fucking thing I seen on TV. The news anchor was like, are your kids shoving beer-infused tampons up their assholes? More at 11, or whatever the fuck he said. Well, now I start getting a little paranoid because now I look like the goddamn poster child of this new-fangled teenage trend. I look back at the dude behind me, and he's giving me a look like he fucking seen the same episode of 60 Minutes that I did. Boy, looks like you got quite the night planned out for yourself now, don't ya? So I perplexed at my choice of groceries. He's looking at the tampons and beer, trying to figure out what the fuck the correlation is between these two products. Well, now I feel like I have to speak up and try to defend myself to some degree. What's not what it looks like? The beer and the tampons. I'm not, like, doing anything weird with them. Why would I think that in the first place? Alcohol, and then they shove them up their assholes. But never mind. Forget everything I said. I have to leave now. On fire, and I haven't been back there since. Crikey, that pervert's totally jamming them things up his bumhole. Alright, so now, all of a sudden, I'm the neighborhood pervert, and I'm the guy who shoves tampons up my ass. That's quite the reputation I'm building for myself. What can I say? Now, thankfully, this last story has less to do with me and more to do with a couple of friends of ours. Now, these aren't exactly close friends, I would say. At least not close enough for me to not tell this story to the general public. But I will change their names in this shitty cartoon to protect their privacy, if you will. So this story begins with me and my wife going on a canoe trip with our friends, Jimothy and Stenifer. And this wasn't a very crazy canoe trip that we took. It was only like 4 hours or so. And take you back to the parking lot. Nothing awkward about that, right? This up, and good old Jimothy over here starts talking about this vacation that they took in Wisconsin. Dude, Wisconsin is badass. There's fucking cheese, and there's cows, and there's more cheese. Now, I did not give a fuck about this story to begin with because, well, who the hell takes a vacation to Wisconsin in the first place? But I try to be polite. I stand there and listen to a story. Oh, well, that's pretty neat. Wisconsin, huh? Never heard of the place. Well, Jimothy decides to pull out his phone to show me this Airbnb that they stayed at, and this is where things get a little weird. Now, you have to understand that all this happened in a matter of seconds, so I'm gonna have to slow things down and do a little play-by-play. First, Jimothy pulls out his phone. He then pulls up his web browser. On his web browser was a Google search that I'm assuming Jimothy Googled prior to this canoe trip. And that Google search, of course, was pegging for beginners. Now, if you're not familiar with what pegging is, well, my ass is not gonna tell you. That's a version of the birds and bees I'm not trying to fucking have with the general public, all right? Just know that it's a very intimate activity between Jimothy and Stenifer. And I'm sure neither of their asses wanted me to know about it. Well, in the fraction of the second that this all took place, Jimothy's ass abruptly turns off his phone, and he's like, you guys want to talk about something else? Fuck Wisconsin. Canoeing is fun, wasn't it? I love canoeing so much. Now, I don't know how you're supposed to handle a situation such as this, but I just pretended that I didn't see what I saw, even though I totally saw what I fucking seen. All I can say is that van ride back was extremely awkward, and casual conversation was very difficult. Boy, those rapids that we encountered sure were a pain in the... The 3 stories had to do with things being inserted into asses. Hard feelings whatsoever. Unless, of course, those hard feelings are in your asshole. Then I would... The end. Alright, now throughout my childhood, I've been attacked by all sorts of raccoon behind a Long John Silver's, to my neighbor's and David's pet. And like a lot of Siamese cats, his ass was cross-eyed as hell. That cat was so cross-eyed, I swear he could, like, see other dimensions and shit. And not only was he cross-eyed, but this cat was mean as hell. I seen him commit felonious assault on many a child throughout my life. He'd, like, go out in the street and, like, trip a little kid on a skateboard. If you weren't paying attention, he'd fucking burn your ass with a lit cigarette. Ah, what the hell? Hell, one time, me and my friend Steven were playing Pokemon cards at David's house, and this cat just walked up and ate his fucking holographic Mr. Mime. Now, first off, do you know how important a holographic Mr. Mime was to a child in 1999? Steven's ass would have rather lost like a... He's like a crumpled up 40 HP piece of cardboard and shit. Ah, god damn it, look how they massacred my boy! To hell with your evil ass cat! Your ass unprovoked at any moment. So when we were at David's house, room, hell, if he fucking farted too loud, that cat would Freddy Krueger your... Cotton seemed like he had some sort of personal vendetta against my little ass. Which, I mean, I have no idea why. I followed all the proper precautions. Fart, I stuck my ass out of the nearest window, but it didn't matter. He attacked me regardless. It got so bad, when I'd come home from David's house, my parents would be like, holy hell, look, I don't know if you can file a restraining order against a household pet, but maybe you should give it a try. And like I mentioned before, Cotton was cross-eyed as hell. So you didn't know if he was looking at you, or your friend next to you, or if he was looking out the fucking window. You didn't know who that cat was about to target. Oh, please don't hurt us. I'm not talking to you guys, I'm talking about that kid across the street, goddammit. Ah, what the fuck? Now, one thing that I failed to mention about Cotton the cat is that his ass would have seizures from time to time. That's right, apparently cats can have epilepsy. That's a real thing. His ass was diagnosed by a veterinarian and everything. Oh, yeah. Way like nothing ever happened. But these seizures would happen all of the time. They happened so frequently, it wasn't even like a big deal to us. It was just like a common occurrence in David's house. We'd be sitting on the couch watching TV. Cotton's ass would be over there like, dude, turn your TV up. Oh, fuck you, Mr. Feeney. I'm not going to detention. How about that? Well, it was during one of these epileptic episodes where I almost met my untimely demise, the Cotton the cat. You see, it was late one night when me and Steven were staying the night at David's house, and we're up in David's room playing Streets of Rage on the Sega Genesis, you know, getting our asses beat by the fat flamethrower guys on stage 4, naturally. Well, all of a sudden, we hear a very familiar sound coming from downstairs, and that sound is followed by something smashing on the floor. So we go down to David's living room to investigate, and what we find is a broken lamp and Cotton the cat's epileptic ass laying on the floor. Apparently he was laying on a table, had a seizure, knocked the lamp over, no big deal. The only problem was, Cotton's ass is just laying there, not moving at all. Now, my first thought is, holy hell, he's dead. Cotton's ass finally fucking rattled his brains into mashed potatoes. So we're all standing there thinking we're looking at a deceased household pet. Everybody's traumatized as hell. Well, everybody except for Steven's ass, that is. Yeah, that's what you get, you fucking Mr. Mime murdering piece of shit. Well, suddenly, Cotton rises up, stares directly at me. I know that because his eyes are no longer fucking cross-eyed. I don't know if his ass shook his eyeballs straight or what during the seizure, but what I can tell you is that his ass leapt at me like a goddamn Ninja Turtle, and then he clung himself onto me like a fucking koala bear on a eucalyptus tree. Now, real quick, it's important to note that I don't draw ears on my characters usually, because I'm a lazy piece of shit. But because of the nature of this attack, I'm gonna put a fucking ear on my character.
Because what happens next is Cotton's ass ends up clawing into my fucking earlobe. And he didn't just scratch it. No, he gets his claw stuck in it. Now, I don't know if you've ever had your ear pierced by a cat litter encrusted claw before, but I really do not recommend it. I start running around David's living room in a panic while 9 pounds of fucking Siamese cat hangs off my ear. David's ass is over there like, heal, Cotton! Heal, goddammit, stop it! Steven's flinging fucking couch pillows at it, trying to save my life. Eventually, Cotton's ass leaps off of me. I couldn't tell you exactly how or when, because I'm pretty sure I blacked out over the whole fucking ordeal. All I know is I end up fucking covered in my own blood, looking like I stormed the beaches of Normandy and shit. My fucking ear, thankfully, still somewhat attached to the side of my head. Cotton's just sitting on the couch, smoking a cigarette and shit. Yeah, well, next time I'll reservoir dog that bitch right off the side of your head. I'll disfigure a child. I'm not afraid of jail. I go home the next day, and my parents are like, Jesus Christ, Holyfield, what the hell happened to your ear? I don't want to talk about it, but I'm gonna press charges, and I'm definitely filing that fucking restraining order. All right. Now, for those of you that don't know, me and my friend Brewer lived in the top floor of a duplex back when we were young, irresponsible adults. And during our 4-year stay there, we had 2 different neighbors that lived below us. Now, the first guy was a dude named John, who was like this 45-year-old stoner that lived by himself. And John was like the best downstairs neighbor that we could possibly have. He was always trying to help out and bring us food to eat, which was very important to us because Brewer and I just so happened to be broke as hell back then. We'd be sitting on the couch like, boy, I sure am hungry. Dude, do you have any money? Money? What the hell is money? And then John would just pop in and he'd be like, oh, hey guys, I was just making some corn dogs downstairs and, well, I got super stoned and accidentally made the whole box. You guys want to eat fucking 14 corn dogs? Now, one time me and John were both in the basement doing our laundry at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and out of nowhere, his ass was like, hey dude, I got some leftover Jello shots from Cinco de Mayo. You want to go eat a bunch and get super fucked up? John, don't you have to like go to work in an hour? Yeah, I sure do. Anyways, they're lime green ones made with tequila. So there I am, getting plastered at 7 o'clock in the morning with a 45-year-old man in a Hawaiian shirt. An hour later, I'm passed out drunk on our couch. John's ass is at work as a fucking welder of all things. Hey, John, are you all right? Yeah, I'm fine. Why do you ask? Yeah, the guy was a legend, that's for sure. Well, needless to say, me and Brewer were pretty disappointed when John moved out one day and our new neighbor moved in. Now, this new neighbor was a guy named Tom. And Tom was no fucking John, that's for goddamn sure. I mean, for one, Tom did not associate with us whatsoever. He lived underneath us for months, and we didn't have a single conversation. He'd just sit on the porch and smoke cigarettes and shit. Me and Brewer would just watch him at a distance like, well, what the fuck? When's this guy gonna start feeding us corn dogs? Yeah, or fucking Jello shots. This guy sucks ass at being the downstairs neighbor. Well, it didn't take long for the, shit to hit the proverbial fan, if you will, between us and our new neighbor, Tom. The first issue that we ran into was the fact that Tom worked early mornings every day. Now, Brewer and I had shitty second shift jobs at the Circle K and the Pizza Hut. So that meant that while Tom was trying to get his beauty sleep at night, me and Brewer would be upstairs doing dumb shit, being loud as fuck. Dude, you wanna go shoot beer bottles with this BB gun and fucking listen to old Limp Bizkit songs? Oh, hell yeah, I do.
I did it all for the nookie. Come on. The nookie. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys thought that Tom's ass was gonna be the bad neighbor when you clicked on this video, but no, me and Brewer were actually the asshole neighbors 100%. So needless to say, Tom had a hard time sleeping with all the happy horse shit that we were up to. Now you'd think that he would just, ask us to keep it down, or hell, even do the old broomstick against the ceiling thing. No, this motherfucker decides to call the cops. That's what he decides to do. Hey, we got an anonymous noise complaint from the other half of the house. You guys are playing the nookie at way too many decibels. Now this kind of offended me and Brewer at first. I mean, hell, if Tom would have just came to us personally, we would have toned it down for sure. We didn't need the fucking 5-0 to come here and yell at us like they're our dad and shit. So after a few days, we went right back to doing stupid shit and being loud as hell. Hey, you wanna fucking fight each other with vacuum cleaners? Oh, hell yeah, you're on. And of course, Tom called the cops on us again. In fact, his ass probably called the cops probably a half a dozen times. But the cops would never really do anything. They'd just show up and be like, hey, we got a noise complaint? Yeah, we'll keep it down, all right? Now leave us alone. We're trying to fucking race these baboons on pogo sticks, for Christ's sake. Eventually, the cops just stopped coming over altogether. I don't know if it was Tom that gave up, or if the cops were just like, look, they're just loud assholes, all right? We can't just shoot them in the face, Tom, no matter how loud they are. Well, eventually, Tom would seek out some revenge of his own,
when he started to bring over a little lady friend of his. Now, the way the duplex was laid out, Tom's bedroom just so happened to be directly underneath my bedroom. Now, some of you watching this might already know where I'm going with this. Aw, did you fucking hear them have loud, nasty sex late at night? You did, didn't you? Yeah, I fucking did. You see, late one night, in the wee early morning hours, I wake up to some very unsettling noises. I don't know what kind of weird tantric shit was going on downstairs, but it was loud and it was violent. That shit sounded like fucking two dogs fighting underneath a table and shit. It was crazy as hell. And to make matters worse, Tom was clearly the more vocal of the two. He just kept going, ha, 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 ha. So what did I decide to do about this unfortunate situation? Well, I sure as hell didn't call up the cops and be like, hey, my prick of a neighbor is having loud relations at above the neighborhood noise ordinance. Send lots of backup. No, I did not do that. Instead, my double standard having ass goes over to the vent in my room, and I yell something along the lines of, hey, fucking quit it! Knock it off! I gotta work 4 hours at the Pizza Hut tomorrow, goddammit! Stop it! Now, I don't know if they didn't hear me, or if they just didn't care, but that did not stop whatever the fuck they were doing down there. So my ass had to sleep on the couch that night, traumatized as hell. Not to mention this happened for like a week straight, and every time I would get up and I would yell shit down the vent. Hell, sometimes I would just fuck with them instead. I wouldn't even yell. I'd just be like, Thomas, is that you? It's me, your mother. I don't really appreciate what you're doing down there, booby. But it didn't matter. They never stopped or responded or anything like that. And I had to keep my ass out on the couch because, well, I was definitely not trying to hear that shit, that's for sure. Now, keep in mind that at this point, we still have not had any direct confrontation with Tom. Not a single conversation or a, hey, howdy do, I heard you fucking last night. Nothing. Nothing at all. Well, all that would change with what I like to call the dryer incident. And the dryer incident happened when one night at 3 o'clock in the morning, I decided to put my shoes in the dryer. I don't remember why my shoes were sopping wet in the first place, or why I had to have them dried at that precise moment, but I indeed put shoes in the goddamn dryer at 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, if you've never put shoes in the dryer before by themselves, well, it sounds a lot like this. Boom, 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 boom. Well, this obviously wakes Tom's ass up, and apparently this was it. This was the final straw. Tom marches his ass upstairs, pissed off as hell. I open the door, and what I see is the angriest bald man I've ever seen in my life. Tom's standing there smoking a cigarette, and he's like, are those fucking shoes in the goddamn dryer? And my first reaction was like, holy hell, Tom, that is shoes in the dryer. How the hell did you guess that? This is like a fucking weird game show of some sort. And welcome back to another episode of What's in the Dryer? Tom for the grand prize, what do you hear? Clankety clank, 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 clank. It's a fucking TV remote and a bag of nickels. Anyways, Tom asked me if those are indeed shoes in the goddamn dryer, and I decided to hold my ground, even though, you know, I'm 100% wrong in this situation. Well, yeah, Tom, as a matter of fact, those are shoes in the goddamn dryer. It's 3 in the morning. Why the fuck did you put shoes in the dryer? Well, to get them dry, you dense son of a bitch. Why else would I fucking put them in there? So now we're going back and forth over who's the bigger asshole here, and it's me, clearly. But that's when I take a sharp left turn and bring up an entirely different topic. Yeah, well, I don't appreciate hearing you and your girlfriend's fucking sexual escapades at night. How about that? Wait, what? What the hell are you talking about? Well, I can hear you fucking, Tom, that's what. Ha! Ha! Ha 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 ha! Sound familiar, you fucking piece of shit? Yeah, that's right. I had to, pull a page out of Forrest Gump. I had to imitate his ass fucking. It wasn't my proudest moment, but, well, it was pretty effective because Tom's ass was completely flustered. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Keep the damn shoes out of the dryer. You guys are assholes. And that was the first and last conversation that I had with our neighbor Tom. Me and Brewer moved out shortly afterwards, and Tom was free to do whatever crazy ass shit he wanted without having to worry about any prying ears. So Tom, on the off chance that you're watching this shitty little cartoon, I just want to apologize for being such a shitty upstairs neighbor. I know we should have been quiet and should have let you sleep, and, you know, instead of yelling down the vent, I should have, I don't know, fucking whispered words of encouragement. Way to go, Tom! You can do it! Just know that you did traumatize my ass quite a bit in return, and every time I hear two fucking dogs fighting underneath a table, I can't help but think of your bald ass. The end. Alright, so you guys know how, like, sometimes you'll lie to children for your own personal entertainment? No? You guys don't do that? Come on, you guys lie to kids, right? You never just, like, told an outright lie to a child just to see if they believe it or not? I'm not talking about anything crazy, alright? I'm not like going up to kids and being like, hey, your Aunt Carol's in the hospital. She's got rickets. Blah. No, I'm just talking about like stupid little harmless lies. Like, for example, we have a gate in our backyard that kids, for whatever reason, cannot figure out how to open. I mean, it's just a simple latch up top that you pull up on, but children